With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with a football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Mariota on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 34 yards. And it'll give the Titans a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right?
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green, 30. Leopard.
After the interception, here's Osweiler. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now Osweiler on second down. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? That's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
The play clock's running down. Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd down and 3. And they'll run it here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. 3rd down and 8 now. They'll come out in the pistol. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, where they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
Now another timeout here called by the Titans. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught left side Hopkins. And he's out of bounds right at the 25.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Marshall. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, Osweiler. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Osweiler. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. Osweiler now to throw on third down. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay.
And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. They're down here in the third quarter trying to get something going. Going to the outside there didn't work out, though.
Yeah, and from the cheap seats and from where you and I are sitting, we did pay a pretty good price to get in here, right? You often wonder to yourself, why do you make that type of a call? That one went for no gain. But I think this offense thinks to itself, if we keep running these plays, eventually something may pop. It just didn't on that one.
And it's complete. Henry, 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
In the red zone this time. And they'll turn their power game to try to get in. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Shift together here from the D-line. They come out with one back and three tight ends. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
I know a field goal ties it, but I'm not just tempted to go for it. I say do it. At this spot of the field, go get the touchdown.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Marcus Mariota, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Osweiler on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Osweiler. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Final minute now of the third quarter. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. This is Marshall, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll run with Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And here's Marshall. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. From the shotgun, Osweiler. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. On
third down, Mariota. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And here comes the Texans now. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
No, check, Patriot! Hurry up, here we go!
On 3rd and 1, Osweiler. And Marshall's got it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. To throw again is Osweiler. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd.
Now let's go! Green, 39!
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. Now 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now.
Here we go. It's Osweiler on 4th down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Osweiler on 1st down. It's complete to Fuller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Throwing again, Osweiler. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, Hill. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
Now, check. Patriot. Leopard. All right, here we go.
In motion goes the tight end.
39.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Man, such a close game, a very big one. Touchdown, Houston! Jeremy Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. If there was a time to break off a nice run like that, it was right here to grab the lead in the fourth.
And it's just so much stress on a defense in that situation because you're looking at the clock. What are we guarding against? What's the first thing, right? The strike to the end zone, throwing the ball. Instead, they come back and hit him with a run. Block it well, and how about the physical run he made? Terrific job finding his way to the end zone to give him the lead.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked so well.
Else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah. They like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over.
And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Osweiler. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. pass is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
They'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. Three straight incompletions. They don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Again, we'll see the pistol here. He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 14 on the play. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on fourth and long. Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Titans are going to have a first. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Houston, they remain one of the...